Senior dogs don't suddenly become quieter, more attached, more watchful. Most owners assume it's just aging, but some of these shifts are your dog communicating something specific, and the way most people read them is often wrong. By the end of this video, you'll probably see your dog's behavior differently. Sign 1. They follow you, but they're not asking for anything. Your dog gets up when you stand, follows you to the kitchen, waits outside the bathroom. Most owners read this as affection, and part of it is. But a younger dog follows you because they want something: food, play, attention. A senior dog often follows for a completely different reason. When hearing fades and vision softens, proximity becomes a substitute for sensory confidence. They're not asking, they're verifying. You're still there, the world is still okay. Small distinction, but it changes how you understand them. Sign 2. The stare that isn't asking for anything. You're sitting, and you feel it. Your dog is watching your face, not waiting for food, not asking to go outside, just watching. Senior dogs who do this have often spent years learning to read you, your expressions, your posture, your energy. As their world gets quieter, you become one of the most reliable sources of information they have left. If you're relaxed, they can relax. It's not just affection, it may be their primary way of checking whether everything is okay. Sign 3, they stop using their own bed. One day they just don't go back to it. They choose the floor next to you, or pressed against you on the couch. The easy explanation is that they want warmth, but physical contact with someone familiar may help them rest in ways their own space can't anymore. The rhythm of your breathing, the ability to feel you shift before you move. Some dogs don't just want to be near you. They need the proximity to fully settle. You don't need to do anything differently, just let them stay. If you've noticed these changes in your dog, subscribe. This is exactly what we explore here. Now, here's where the signs become more important to understand. The first 3 are easy to absorb as normal aging. The next ones are where something worth paying attention to can get missed. Sign 4. They react to you leaving, even for 10 minutes. Before, you could grab your keys and they'd barely look up. Now they follow you to the door. They watch you leave with an awareness that feels heavier than before. Most people assume separation anxiety, but here's what's actually different. Younger dogs hold on to the idea that she leaves and she comes back. In some senior dogs, that continuity becomes less reliable. Not dramatically, not all at once, but the certainty of your return may not sit in memory the same way it once did. A calm, consistent goodbye matters more now than it used to. A predictable routine matters more. Small things, but they land differently for an aging dog. Sign 5. They want contact, but not play. They rest their head on your leg, they lean against you, close but not excited. Honestly, this is where a lot of owners misread what's happening. They think, my dog is just more loving now, which may be true. But some behaviors that look purely emotional are actually compensations for a nervous system that doesn't settle as easily anymore. That contact may be doing something, not just expressing something. Sign 6, they stop exploring, even familiar spaces. Some senior dogs stop walking through rooms they used to move through freely. They find a spot and stay there. Not laziness, not obvious pain. Unpredictability can become mentally exhausting for an aging dog. Novelty requires processing. New sensory input requires effort. Even a different corner of a familiar room can feel like unnecessary work, so they simplify. They stay where things are known, where the environment matches what their brain expects. That's not giving up, that's adaptation. Sign 7, small moments of confusion that seem to come from nowhere. They pause in the middle of a room, they stare briefly at something that isn't there, they seem momentarily lost in a space they've lived in for years. Easy to dismiss as tiredness, but vets commonly note that these small moments, especially when they start appearing more regularly, are worth monitoring and mentioning at the next checkup, not panicking about, mentioning. Most dogs with early cognitive changes continue to live comfortably for years when routine stays stable and environment stays predictable. That part matters. What connects all of these is this. Some behaviors that look emotional are actually compensations for sensory decline. Some that look like affection are adaptations to cognitive change. And some are genuinely both, a dog finding the most reliable thing left in their world and staying close to it. Most owners who look back on this period say the same thing. They wish they'd been more present, not to fix anything, just to understand what the behavior was actually saying while it was still happening. Your dog isn't just getting older, they're communicating through proximity, through that specific stare, through the way they settle against you at night. Now you know how to read it a little better. What's one behavior your senior dog started doing that felt different? Tell me below.